Welcome to the Amazing Authorities Podcast, where game changers, visionaries, and category leaders share how they built their brands, platforms, and global influence. Your host is Mitch Carson, international speaker, media strategist, and creator of the Instant Authority System. If you're ready to learn from those who've done it and want to become the go-to expert in your space, you're in the right place.
Rachel Allen is our amazing authority guest today, and she's got a deep background as a business strategist. I don't want to label her only as a copywriter. Copywriter, I would say, is her strong skill set, because in order to be an effective copywriter, you have to understand overall strategy, or you can't write effective copy. Productive copy. Rachel, welcome to the show. I'm so excited. And I researched you for an hour. I want you to know. I'm not a creep. I'm not stalking you. I wanted to stalk your credentials and look into what you've done in order to be able to draw the best out of you during our interview today.
Oh, well, thank you so much for having me. I am delighted and very flattered.
Well, we're talking, I think we're about 9,000 or 10,000 miles apart. And that's the beauty of technology. We've had our own background, seeing different cultures, different lifestyles around the globe, which has enabled you to appreciate the nuances of culture and the differences of how to direct your copy and strategy. Because how you write copy in one environment may not be the same in another. I mean, you grew up in the South. I'm from LA and not Lower Alabama. And how you would address somebody in that local vernacular might be different than somebody in LA.
Oh gosh, yeah, very, very different. I've only been to LA once, but I would absolutely not have my yes ma'am, no sir type situation going on there.
They would look at you strangely.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Yeah. And, it's just cultural differences are vast, even in our own country. And tell us, where have you lived? You said you were a digital nomad for a while.
Yeah, gosh. It'd almost be easier to tell you where I haven't lived, but basically I moved from Tennessee to Hong Kong, was there for a couple years, and then I sort of worked my way back across Europe. So highlights: London, Germany, Greece, Spain, Switzerland for a hot minute, Colombia, which is, other side, but I was taking a little break, getting a little warmer after London.
Colombia, South America, Colombia, or Colombia, South Carolina?
South America. I
Okay.
would not set foot in Colombia, South Carolina. Just kidding. Colombia, we love you. But Colombia, South America.
I lived in Medellin for a spell, about 6 months.
Yeah. Same. It's a great town.
Well, let me ask this. Has travel made you more intelligent, more appreciative? Does that factor into strategy, understanding different cultures?
Oh, that's a great question. Yeah, I mean, I think it definitely does, because great strategy is really about finding the crux of a problem and then coming up with some sort of creative solution to untangle that. And that is all that living abroad is. It's a continuous series of tiny problems you have to solve forever. And the benefit is that you get to have groceries that night. And so it's not difficult, but it can be wearing when every single thing is unfamiliar. And it does require you to get really creative, and also, I think, to develop the kind of humility that makes for a great strategist. Because if I come in thinking that I know everything about everything, I am definitely going to miss some of the right answers. But having been in so many places where I don't speak the language, or I speak the language at the level of a toddler, and I have to be like, hello, I'm sorry, I'm dumb, please help me. Like, being able to get comfortable with that, I think, makes for amazing strategy.
I'm going to put you on the spot because I know you can handle it.
All right.
And thankfully we're being recorded. So, but we won't need to edit, because I'm certain, based on our brief conversation, you're going to be able to handle this. How would you direct the copy today? I'm going to start very big and then make it to much more grassroots, at a smaller level. How would you write the copy today for Elon Musk?
I mean, I wouldn't, but if I had
to. He throws money around. Let's just say, setting aside any personal beliefs about him and his conduct. I like that quick quip. But how would you write copy to recapture
Mm.
lost clients from Twitter/X today?
Okay, that's helpful because I was like, are we rebranding Tesla? What are we doing? But
No,
Twitter slash,
just
yeah,
X.
yeah. So I think what I would do is I would just straight up own it and be like, you know what? So we take big swings, and sometimes that means big mistakes. We've made a couple, and here's how
Bravo.
we're gonna fix it.
Bravo. I love
Yeah.
that. See, I knew you could dance quickly on your feet.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
enjoy it.
Okay. And how would you handle, and I'm probably going to get the similar response here, the negative press of President Trump?
Hmm. So I think press is such a specific skill.
Yeah.
And I do have a background in journalism. So I think what I would do is, it would depend on who I'm talking to. If we're speaking to his supporters, then I would play it up and be like, look at this. Look at what he's doing that is so impactful that people have to try and tear him down. If I were trying to make him perhaps a bit more palatable to other people, I would say, you know what? I understand you don't like this. I understand this is not what you want. And this is who you have. So how are you going to work with what you've got?
Oh, great. Great. All right. Now let's go to the boring bank. They're
Hmm. Nice.
third on the list in America. Let's pick somebody that I recently had a bad experience with. I was in
Yeah.
the US, and the worst customer service I've had with any bank ever was US Bank.
Ah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you're familiar with them.
Oh, I'm
They're,
familiar.
yeah, they're how they handled me. They held my money for over 3 months. I had to fly back to the US to receive the money.
Oh,
Yeah, and
awful.
it was challenging. How would
Yeah.
you address their very, very poor customer service? Because then we're going from big, world
Right.
renowned to now local, national. And
Yeah.
I think you'll get the idea of what is next too. But how
Yeah.
would you repair that type of they're in the top 10 worst banks in America.
Yeah.
And I would echo
So,
that sentiment.
yeah. So, I think it's honestly not a marketing problem. It's an internal problem. But if I'm having to like put lipstick on this pig,
Hmm.
then what I would say is I would focus on what they do well. I don't know them well enough to pull out several things, but I would be like, you know what? We're not for everybody. If you need blah blah blah, we can't help you. But let's say, I'm just pulling this out of thin air, let's say
Yep.
you need a mortgage or you need a small business loan. We're great at those. So I think that I would differentiate. I think that I would reposition them as, you know what, yeah, we are going to let some people down because we want to. We really care about these other people. That's how much we care and how
Got it.
focused.
So what you've identified is deselection in some
Exactly.
cases. So you can't be all things to all people.
Exactly.
And here's how important is the USP/elevator pitch? Two
Mm.
different things. Do you help
Yeah, yeah.
clients come up with craft those?
I do. And, I think with USP, I think about things like positioning, which is, of course, the foundation of any marketing and sales. So I think that has to be the first thing. And I think the elevator pitch is just a manifestation of that, right? The elevator pitch is the cute way that I say that to hook you in and get you to care about me long enough to actually listen to that USP.
Very good. So it's a filter for part two.
Exactly.
Yeah. And one of my favorite USPs, I mean, it's taught in business schools, and I refer to it is fresh hot pizza delivered in 30 minutes or less,
Right.
or it's free.
Right.
And you probably know the brand, Domino's.
Domino's. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, Domino's. And that got them in trouble because drivers were held responsible if they got there late and they
Right.
were getting into car crashes. So they they had to take that in. Uh,
Yeah.
so when you're hired as a strategist, because you've
Mhm.
clearly proven to me just in these few questions, you get the big picture. I knew you
Yeah.
would pass with flying colors. You proved it to me, proved it to the listeners. Do
I
you
love a
help them?
test. So you're really speaking to my strengths. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, well, but that's because you're truly a strategist. That was
Yeah.
proven. I suspected it to be true based on my research of you. You now proved it when you're with your butt on the frying pan and you jumped
Yeah.
handled it well without any marks.
Yeah.
And Do you help people come up with their mission, their vision statements, their USPs?
Mhm.
What is in your package typically when you work with Joe Boring client
Yeah.
that is a good technician, but they
Mhm.
have no strategy for marketing?
Yeah. So with those clients, what I tell them, I say your words are your work because that is true, right? If you can't talk about what you do, it does not matter. No one cares. No one will even ever know you exist. So we start with the higher level brand strategy stuff, like you're talking about. We do positioning, we do audience research. I have extremely strong feelings about client avatars. I actually wrote an ebook called Kill Your Client Avatar. So we go into that and actually work on really understanding these people. We do positioning, mission, vision, values, USP, elevator pitch, taglines, brand voice. And then we take all of that and actually put it into, okay, that's great. We all know this now. Now, but like, what are we posting on Twitter tomorrow? And how do we know whether it's right? And how are we going to know if it's working? So we get into implementation in the second phase, which is here's your 3 month plan. Here's what gets posted where. Here's why. Here's how you know if it's going to work. And then we review quarterly to say, like, okay, look, here's what the numbers said. And which I don't think anybody else does this, the qualitative stuff. Are we getting the kinds of people we want? How does it feel when we're doing it? Do we just hate this? Is there a better way we could do it? And so I really take them just from beginning to end, and then we end up doing quarterly cycles after that.
Okay. And wow, you hit all the elements. Do you get involved with their social media?
I do, yeah. I have a couple of clients that I'll do social media management for, kind of as a special favor, because I'm not the huge, like most social media human in my private life. But when I'm doing it for somebody else, it's fun.
Okay. Yeah. I'm the same way. I don't like to post all the time. And I'm advised by people to do this. I'm eating ice cream. Here, take a picture of me, adding weight to my waistline. Not pretty. I wear black for a reason so I can get away with that. Yeah, but social media does get a bit invasive.
Yeah, yeah. When it's someone else's, though, I'm like, sure, I'll take a picture of you eating ice cream all day long. Let's tell the internet, see if they care.
Well, and does that matter? What is it that matters to clients? Do we need to show I mean, in your case and in my case, being strategists in a different sense, like I say, I work in my capacity, which you
Yeah.
discussed, you work in yours. Is it important? Do you believe you're missing out by not disclosing more about Rachel Allen?
I think more about Rachel Allen is none of the internet's business. But the reason that I've made that strategic decision is because it doesn't matter to you in the context of our relationship, our working relationship. People don't need to know what kind of coffee I drink or, where I go on vacation to know that I can be an incredible marketing strategist. And I recommend different things to other people, right? So for instance, let's take Joe Boring client. I've had a lot of dentists' office that I work with and dental admin, which is like a uniquely boring product to try and sell. But anybody that people are scared of, dentists, accountants, engineers, anyone like attorneys, right? It makes a lot more sense to be like, hey, look, I'm a human just like you. I too enjoy ice cream. Now let's talk about your taxes. So that can be kind of the peanut butter that the boring pill goes in, and it can help people feel like they know you and feel more comfortable reaching out to you.
I also had a probably 10 plus year career working in the dental space,
Oh,
cosmetic dentistry. So we could talk for
mhm.
days about that. Practice
Yeah.
management, operations. I didn't get involved in as much, but more about the marketing message that went out
Yeah.
and working on some of those components. So I feel it. How do you differentiate dentist A from
Mm,
dentist B? And
right.
they went to the same dental school. I use this example a lot. They both went to, Acme Dental School. They have DMD at the end of their name. They got
Mhm.
equivalent grades, but nobody cares about that. It's just, can you
Right.
make the pain go away? How to differentiate dentist A from dentist B?
I mean, first, I think, do they actually do anything different? Let's say dentist A
Not really.
has a great relationship with orthodontist, we do something like that. Personality, right? Let's say dentist A is very straight-laced and dentist B is an amazing pediatric dentist who loves working with kids. Of course, you're going to have completely different tones for them. And I think the other thing, you just look for any kind of differentiating factor, right? Is Dentist A in a much more convenient location downtown? So you focus on, hey, come in during your lunch hour to get your cleaning done. We make sure it's extra fast and you can go back to work without your mouth being weird. Whereas maybe Dentist B is in a strip mall. And it's like, you know what? This is where you want to bring the kids because you can park, it's easy, there's vending machines. So you just look for anything at all that differentiates them. And I talk to them and say, like, look, who do you want to work with? You might not want the same clients. So we would focus on pediatric clients for the one dentist and office workers for the other.
So they have to differentiate, because if their credentials are the same, it's all about choosing their ideal clients, is what you're
Hmm.
saying. Okay.
Yeah.
And what do you think about credentialing one dentist from the other? Someone has written a book, someone who's
Hmm.
been on multiple podcasts like this, someone
Yeah.
who has been on TV or writes articles for something online. Today, newspapers are fading, but there are
Yeah.
still local publications. It'll definitely be around during my lifetime, probably not yours. I'm sure they'll be
Yeah.
sunsetted completely. Are those some strategies you help clients with?
I do, if that's something their clients care about. Depending on who you work with, they might not actually care if you've written a book or not. So, for instance, someone who does primarily emergency dentistry, I am absolutely not looking at their website to be like, oh my God, but did they write a book? What I
Right.
care about is how fast can you get me in?
And yeah, it's pain is now. It is
Yeah.
immediate. And so that would be more of an online presence and
Yeah.
someone who answers the phone.
And very large text that says, call right here.
Yeah, 24-hour emergency service. Oh, I think that's a key distinction.
Yeah.
And I uh, would ask how. So we started at the top. We mentioned
Hmm.
Elon Musk, but you wouldn't work with him. All right, that's fine. Or President Trump. I get it. All right, those are two. Then we went down to a smaller entity of X, and how would you fix
Yeah.
that? And then we went to a boring client. Then you talked
Yeah.
about differentiation, which I think is key, and that's what I want listeners to understand. Differentiate or die.
Yeah.
Really, yeah. Pivot or
Absolutely.
perish. You got to differentiate or die. Uh, Not literally, but you'll die, yeah, with your
Maybe.
pocketbook. Maybe,
Yeah.
yes, with your pocketbook. Tell us about some of your success stories. That
Mhm.
brag, please. Go ahead.
Yeah. Ooh, okay. So one of my most recent ones last year, I helped launch a law firm. It started out as a legal tech launch, and then this person who has worked in big law for quite some time realized, oh, actually, we have to launch a law firm concurrently with this. So we sort of doubled scope overnight. Launched everything on time, and then due to stuff directly related to my work, they became a preferred provider for A16Z founders within 6 months of launching. They were also six-figure profitable within the first month, so that was pretty awesome. Something else, I mean, on the much smaller scale, I work with one of the premier boutique salons in the UK. We got her $20,000 worth of booking off of 3 emails, which was pretty cool as well. She's a one woman,
Hairdresser salon? Is that what you hair?
like massage, waxes, facials, that kind of stuff. So
Okay.
that's like 6 months of bookings for her.
Wow. 3 emails?
Yeah, 3 emails.
3 emails, and was it to a cold list, her list? How did you fill that out?
Yeah, so it was her list. I would say that they were lukewarm. They're fairly active, but her open rates were, like 30-ish percent. I tend to run about 65% opens and 25% click throughs. So we did a little bit of warm up work, and then we sent out this 3 email thing, and it was just, we hit the timing just right, we hit the tone just right, and it was right before Christmas, and everybody was buying this stuff for their friends, for their family. We were like, hey, if you can't book in, here's a gift card, don't worry about it. So we just happened to have all the elements fall into place.
So that was fantastic. So she invested X dollars with you to create this
Hmm.
campaign, which I
Hmm.
saw on your website. Where can they find information? Because right now you got people excited at this
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
Where can they
So
find, where can they hire you to have that
yeah,
kind of result?
you can hire me at boltfromthebluecopywriting.com. If you just really want to get all personal with me, you can follow me on LinkedIn. I'm Rachel Allen, RACHELALLEN. Or you can send me an email like it's the ancient times at hello@boltfromthebluecopywriting.com, and I will email you back.
Oh, well, that's easy. So this
Yeah.
lady, I want to break this down and
Yeah.
make sure that listeners understand. She invested X amount of dollars, which I presume was less than what her bookings were. Yes.
Yes.
So there was a positive return on investment. That's what people understand. It's not a
Yes.
cost to hire Rachel Allen, it's an investment in their business. So you were able to
Yes.
create this strategy plus the email campaign. I'm sure that came from an onboarding with the clients. And then you came
Mm-hmm.
up with the strategy. And what was that book amount again? Let's talk about this.
It was $20,000 based on 3 emails sent across 2 days.
2 days.
Yeah.
And then she'll get repeat business because
Mhm.
she'll then referrals can come out of that because so that number of 20 grand
Yeah.
pales to what it potentially could be if she has the proper customer service and system set into place.
Right. Exactly. That was just 20 grand in new business getting it in the door. And I know that she still sees some of those people who had booked in today. And it's, I think, 3 years later.
Okay. How about reactivation campaigns? Let's say
Mm.
old clients. Do you help them with that?
I do. I talk a lot because people say, email marketing is dead. Don't even bother. And I'm like, I don't know about y'all, but it's doing just fine for me. So, I do reactivation, and I always start out just being very honest with the list. I'm like, if they've had bad list practices, we call that out. If they've been intermittent, we call that out. And I'm always like, hey, is this still good for you? Do you like this? If not, doors right there. No problem. No harm. No foul. If so, here's what's happening next. And then we do a series, usually 7, 10 to 15 emails, depending on how cold the list is, to just get them into the conversation again.
Okay. All right. I'm going to ask the dirty question. Is
Ooh,
your job on the line because of AI? Can
yeah,
they
I love this
replicate
question.
Rachel?
They can try. Something Sonia Simone is a friend of mine, and she was saying, AI, I'm not scared of AI. AI wishes it could write like me. And I'm like, yeah, because
Bravo. Bravo.
it's true. AI does not have 17 years of writing by this point multiple millions of words with the speed and the depth of institutional knowledge that I have. And maybe that will change, but I'm not scared.
So it hasn't affected your business at all.
Mm-mm. Honestly, it's just brought more people to me because I do take that stance. And I tell them not to be scared because so many people have been so upended by this. And I'm like, look, you're not actually scared of AI. You're scared about the exponential rate of change in the 21st century. This is just an avatar. Also, business is fine. Chill out. It's good.
Okay. Well, you say that with great confidence. I remember reading some of the posts of these seasoned copywriters because I still have my finger on the pulse because that was my
Sure.
background at one time and it's still very important. I mean, copy is everything. It leads
Sure.
to all the elements, just like you said. It's
Yeah.
so important today. AI cannot replace that. It can help people who are lazy about it, and then they'll realize, okay, I'm missing the elements. I need the real glue to put all these pieces together. That's where
Right.
someone like you comes into play.
Exactly. I mean, if you think your AI can come up with a strategy, I wish you the best of luck. See how that works out, and then talk to me 6 months later when it fails you. But what I tell people is that, as with everything, as with any new technology, right? It's a sieve. If people are perhaps mediocre or even just moderately kind of okay at copywriting, yeah, I mean, they very well may lose their job because AI can do kind of okay, moderately good copy. But for the people who excel and importantly bring an element of craftsmanship to the work, so they really get to know their clients, they really have their systems down, their UX is impeccable, it can't touch that.
Yeah, that is so true. And I know a lot of people are in fear, but the other way to handle that is manage the AI, use it as a
Right,
tool,
exactly.
not as the be all end all, because it never will be. We can't be
Exactly.
replaced. I can't imagine having a human flesh be or having that be replaced by an android. It's just not going to
Yeah,
happen. I've been
absolutely.
lonely, but I've never sought out Susie the robot. It's not going to.
Absolutely. And I do have clients who ask me to manage AI as part of their job. And I'm like, that's fine. I've managed bad marketing interns before. And that is exactly how I treat it. It is like a very overeager, extremely inexperienced marketing intern. And I give it the exact kind of tasks I would give to that person.
Oh, that's a good analysis. That's a good
Hmm.
analysis. That's a good way of looking at it. It's an intern, a
Yeah.
marketing intern that's overly eager to produce something for you to look at, which then will require a massive edit.
Exactly.
Oh, wow. Rachel, one more time, where can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, I'm at boltfromthebluecopywriting.com. You can also follow me on LinkedIn. It's Rachel Allen, RachelAllen, or you can send me an email at hello@boltfromthebluecopywriting.com.
You've been a great guest. You passed the unexpected quiz elements with flying colors. Don't hate me for that.
No, I love it.
I knew you would get right through this, and you came up with perfect answers, so people can appreciate who you are and why they need to hire you, because you fill in the gaps that most people don't. We all need we need specialists. I hire handymen to do tasks around the house. And that's just not my thing. I don't know how to do certain tasks. I outsource. And copywriting and strategy, I will say, as a strategist, you have to understand the problem. Copywriting is one of the arrows in your quiver.
Yeah.
But a key one. Then you can help them with their USP. You can help them with their vision, their mission, all of this. Hooks that will get people interested in them. Differentiation. That's what I was able to glean from our call today, and for the people listening and viewing you. So you've been a great guest. Thank you for your time. And I would love to have you back again in the future.
Oh, anytime. This has been such a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for tuning in to the Amazing Authorities Podcast. If today's episode inspired you, take a moment to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. It helps more experts like you rise to the top. For behind-the-scenes access and free resources to boost your authority, head to mitchcarson.com. Until next time, stay amazing.